Greetings, outstanding folks, and welcome back. Arban, back with what's the first trumpet video in several months. Had a lot of things go on over the past few months that cut in my ability to practice, ranging everywhere from work schedule changes to sinus issues. But the big thing that happened a few months ago was I had a relocation, which would explain the difference in background. I changed apartments back in November, gave me more room to work. I figured when I got back on the practice, I figured I'd go back on the trumpet like I did when I was first relearning brass a little over 3 years ago. And so I'll do one Arban exercise and then give a few comments about the trumpet and my experience with it. The Arban First Studies Rhythmic Figure exercise number 15. There's that. Not perfect, but made it through it. This goes to the second part of the video, my comments on the trumpet. You may notice I used my Mendini trumpet, which was the first one I bought in the series of brass instruments I have. When I opted for the nickel finish because it looks cool, darker shade of gray than you get from silver. And it still serves me well. And to get a cheap instrument like this, which I bought it for 120 bucks back then, probably runs about 170 now, that's in US dollars. And I also used the only drawback I found of this instrument is that the nickel finish. It doesn't tarnish with exposure to moisture or air, but it does react to the being touched, so I still have to polish it up once in a while. Second thing is that this water key on the main tune slide, I tried wringing it out, but still accumulates water. And also be featured with student level instrument, the removable ring for the third valve slide, which is made for music stands for marching band. The thumb screw tends to work loose. And as far as this instrument, for student level instrument, those are the only knocks I have with it. It still works out great. I still use my practice instrument. I also used a Cecilio brand 1.5C mouthpiece with this, was what I used when I started with it. Cecilio is the company that actually makes the Mendini trumpet. It's not quite like a Bach, but for something that cheap, it worked out pretty well. So that's that. And anyway with that, it's like a little bit of spot check. So it still has double high C capability. So, and double pedal C works out. That still functions there, depending on my own capabilities, of course. And still got a long way to go to develop my range, but so far so good. As far as my own experience, trumpet. Technical side, I'm about where I was, probably high school level, not quite the college level. I've still got some work to do on my double tonguing. The only weak spot I have in my technical capability is probably triple tonguing. I never really learned it properly. So once I get through the Arban First Studies, I'll probably skip over the tonguing section to learn the triple tonguing. I can play in all 12 major keys, The only ones that give me trouble are uh, one that could show up as either F sharp or G flat, and the other being D flat. And that's mainly because of lack of exposure more than anything else. I actually like playing in B myself. As far as range, I've already demonstrated what I could do, which is far above what I was able to do back then because I've learned some tips from some pros over the years. Plus, wasn't until over the past 3 years I actually had access to armature training material. So basically, as far as range goes, I'm not too sure I'm going to work too much on trying to extend my range, but rather improving what I have, making what I have sound good. That double high C I did on the 1/2 C, I'm more comfortable with it with a 1E. I've made some mouthpiece changes for regular use since then. 1/2 C, if I'm practicing and warming up to switch over to trombone or bass trumpet, I'll warm up with a 1/2 C. But I switched to 1E after several months under recommendation of using 1E for the high notes because they're made for the high notes, the shallow cup. At the point I made the switch, I was already just getting up to the G above high C, and the F sharp and G above high C sounded better and felt better on the 1E. My current go-to mouthpiece is Lynn Nichols and Mac Park, which is similar to 1E, but it's a V cup, which makes the airstream a bit more efficient. So I'm not having to push as hard. As far as my goals for the upcoming year, for the rest of this year, on the trumpet, would be to be stronger in what I have for my range. And my goal another goal for the technical side is to make it through the first studies of Arban, get through all the exercises well enough to put them on future videos. Try to finish that up by the end of this year. I think that's doable if I don't run into any more long-term snags, and also depending on how much time I spend on bass clef instruments. So I think, so that's like, I say, my experience could be better, but still so far so good. And the keys about it, regardless of where I'm at in my range, the keys I have for any trumpet player, 2 keys: have fun and make music. Thanks for watching, and all the best.